Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Mrs. B. On today's video, we will be discussing 5 things you should know before booking your cruise. Especially if this is your first time ever or you've never been on a cruise, this video is for you. If you're thinking about going on a cruise, then you should watch this video. And if you are traveling on a budget and you want to know what to expect on a cruise, then this is for you. All right, let us discuss 5 things I wish I knew before booking my cruise. So in October, I went on Symphony of the Sea, Royal Caribbean cruise. And at the time when I booked my cruise, that was at about in April. When I called, I was told, all inclusive. You just show up at the port and that's it. So I paid, but lo and behold, point number 1, you are going to pay more than the advertised price. Let that sink in. Yes, even though it's all inclusive, you will be paying a whole lot more. Number 1, gratuity per person. So I have a family of 4 and my kids are all under the age of 9. We had to pay per person. It was a 7-day cruise. So it was hitting about $600 for the 4 of us. And then there's drinks. You have to pay for drinks. The only time that you're given free drink, water, lemonade, and iced tea, that is when you're eating. Aside from that, nope. If you're roaming about the ship, or on the boat and you need water, you either drink from the tap in your room or you buy one. I mean, now there are ways to go hack that, but is it really a hack? It's not. I mean, when I got to Bahamas, we bought a bottle. So when we eat our breakfast, we would take extra water from the fountain. So in between meals, we would have something to sip on. So yeah, you will be paid a whole lot more. A whole lot more. So whatever you budget, have at least, if you're staying like 7 days like I did, which I don't advise. Literally, just do your 3 days if you really just want to get the experience, especially if you're traveling on a budget. Point number 2. This one was a shocker for me. Because when you go on a cruise, when you go on vacation, your hotel room is always 9 out of 10 times ready anyways. But by the time you get there, check-in time is 3 p.m. Check-out is noon. On this occasion, your stateroom would not be ready. I mean, it would take hours before you can go in. So if you arrive early, your check-in time, because they asked us to pick a time. So I checked in about 11. We didn't get to our room until about 2 p.m. And if you're like me, that you travel with your carry-on, so you're roaming about the whole place with your boxes, yeah, your room would not be ready. And if you're going to go eat, you're gonna take whatever bags that you take with, that you come with. I mean, in all fairness, they do tell you to check in luggage, but I don't check in luggage. I like to carry my carry-on. It fits basically all that I need. But yeah, that's point number 2. Your room would not be ready for you. Point number 3. When you book your cruise, you can request to not sit with strangers. You do not have to sit with people you do not know. You can ask to sit with just your family. If you want a single table for yourself, if you're traveling alone on the cruise, you can request that, especially if you're traveling for a long time you don't want to be stuck having conversations with people that you don't know, you can request. And if you just want you and your family alone, you can request to have your table and sit with your family. That leaves us to point number 4. I know you're probably thinking, how bad is the food? One, all-inclusive on the Royal Caribbean cruise only involves the buffet. It's worse than you think. You may not like the food, and if you are a picky eater, that's even worse. And then if you're one of those people that do require that like different kind of food all the time, you're going to be bored with your food. Now, Royal Caribbean does have a food package where you can eat wherever you want to eat. And I think on my cruise on the Symphony of the Sea, that was about $100. I think, yeah, about $100 per day. See why I'm telling you to like reduce the amount of time that you stay on the cruise, especially if you're traveling on a budget. Like, you definitely do not want to be on there for a long time, especially if you're gonna get any of the packages. Say from the drink package, a pack of water, I think it was like 12 cans of water, that was about $15. If you're getting the ultimate drink package, which involves alcohol, that is $90 per day. You can imagine. I mean, unless you're like going in there to just, you know, drink yourself to a stupor, I don't even see why anybody should get the alcohol package. But if you want the soda package, that was about $15.99 a day per person. For the internet, it was about $21.99. So about $22 a day per device. So if you're like 4 in your room and you decide to get internet for everybody, just remember that it is going to be per device, and the price is per day. So that goes back to point number 1. You keep paying. It's like the all-inclusive that you keep dishing out money. I didn't get the other packages. We decided to stay away from internet. We're like, well, we came here to connect, so we do not need internet. We didn't get the internet. I didn't get the drink package. I didn't see the point in it. I think about the 4th day, my kids wanted Coke. When the ship arrives at the port, you have time so you can buy it way cheaper. It will allow you to take a whole lot, so it's just a can or 2. So we brought that back on the belt, and my kids were able to like drink Coke. Other than that, I refused to pay $15.99. And yes, they do keep track. There's a cup they give you on the Royal Caribbean cruise. There's a cup that they give you. It has a magnet at the bottom, so that is what activates the machine to give you drink. And I think from the people that were there that got the drink package, the soda, there was a limited amount of time, so they can't get Coke like back to back. I don't know what the time frame is on it. I didn't get it, but I know you can't just take a drink right now, like put your cup in there and then pause for somebody else and then go again. The machine would allow you. They had a way of doing their tracking. But anyways, back to point number 4. I know I just rambled off, hitting right back to point number 1 where you pay a lot of money. But back to point number 4, the food is probably worse than you think. Like, if you think you're going to go eat like the best of the best, forget about it. Not gonna happen. No. And the last point, number 5, you have limited time at the port. Let me say that again. I know you traveled, you're like, oh, we're going to Mexico, we're going to the Bahamas on the cruise ship. You have limited time on the port. That is insane. So, interesting fact. So when you get on the port, they tell you, oh, from 8 a.m. the ship will be leaving at 4 p.m. Best believe, you better show up. Otherwise, that ship is going to leave you. When you're leaving the boat, they scan your card. So you have to leave your, when you're going out of the boat, you have to scan your card. And when you're coming back in, you scan your card to come back in. When it's 4 p.m., they're not kidding. The boat leaves. So you have very, very, very limited time. And frankly, I am one of those people that don't see the need of a cruise, because unless you just want to go get the experience of sitting down on a boat, that's what you're doing. You're just on the boat for however amount of time that you booked your cruise on. And then each day they just stop at the location. Like in my case, when we went to the Bahamas, I was thinking I was going to meet with the locals, like go into the city. No, they dropped us off at an island that was close to the Bahamas. But I think it's a land that Royal Caribbean rented from the country in Bahamas, so they can use for the cruises. I asked one of the co-worker, I was like, are we going to meet locals? Like, and they're like, you're not in... She was like, you're not in Bahamas. Bahamas is like 45 minutes away. We have to take a speedboat in here. And once you guys leave, we basically just close shop unless there's another ship coming in. That's it. So that was on the island there when I realized, that was the first port that we stopped at. When I realized that you don't get water drinks throughout the day, it's only when you're eating. So I had to buy like a little water cup. Like it was about yay big, which I ended up losing in St. Martin's because we went on the beach and I don't know, I forgot it somewhere. So we had to buy another one because you're gonna get thirsty, like walking around the boat and stuff like that. But yeah, you do have limited time on the boat, I mean at the port, and that takes away from the fun, because now you're just like, oh my god, did the alarm go off? Because I set an alarm because you know, not having data, so you just want to set an alarm like, okay, the time on the boat when I was leaving is 8 a.m. I need to be back here. It says 4 p.m. but I want to be here 1 hour before because I don't want stories that touch. So yeah, I saw a few videos on YouTube where people that lost track of time on the port, the boat left them. And you could see people waving at them and stuff like that. I had a balcony suite while I was on the cruise, but mine was facing the water, not with the port where people come down. But yeah, they have videos on YouTube. They would leave you. They literally would leave you. If you come late, your bags will be waiting for you at the port, and you would have to find your way back to your destination. So that kind of cuts the fun for me, because you're just tensed. You don't want to be left. So for me, the cruise is more or less like you just spending time on a boat. Kind of reminds me of Great Roof Lodge. Like there's water parks in the boat and you just play on there. But then now when you now imagine they have like 6,000 people on there and a few tiny pools, yeah, that don't cut it. Anyways, I have a bonus point for you guys. This bonus point is on excursions. Please, whatever you do to save money, do not, I repeat, do not book your excursions with the boat. You're gonna be paying a whole lot of money, like a lot. They would like literally extort every dime out of you. The best practice for me, when we got to Bahamas, was already too late. We already booked with the boat, with the Royal Caribbean cruise. But by the time we got there, we found out that it was like really expensive to do that. The zip lining, I think it was like a little over $100 per person. But when you get on there, it's way cheaper. So book your excursions when you get to the port. And yeah, you don't have to be scared. It is a tourist zone. They are well aware. If you book a good private tour when you arrive at your destination, they do thrive on good reviews. So they are not going to like make sure that you have a great time and bring you back way well advanced in the time. So you don't even have to think about that. They already know. They know that your boat is leaving at 4 p.m. They will get you back at 2:30. So you're well into the boat and enjoy, so they don't leave you behind. I think that's it. Yeah, those are the 5 points. And just to summarize, you're going to pay more. Point number 1, you will pay a whole lot more money. Point number 2, when you arrive at your stateroom will not be ready for you. Number 3, you don't have to sit with strangers if you don't want to. You can request to have your own table when you book your cruise. And the time you want to have your dinner. Because you definitely don't want to be sitting down 8 p.m. like waiting. Mine was scheduled at 8 p.m. And by then my children were already starving anyways. And point number 4, the food is worse than you think. It is worse. Yeah. Especially when you don't even have alcohol, when you don't get the drink package, you don't have alcohol to even help you. Yeah. And point number 5, you have limited time on the port. So even if they tell you you're going to the Bahamas, you only have like max 3-4 hours. That doesn't let you experience nothing. Just another bonus point. The pool, Royal Caribbean. Why? Why is your pool salty? Why do you have salt water in your pool? It doesn't make any sense. So yeah, be aware of that. If you're going on a cruise and you decide you want to take a dunk at the pool on the boat, don't go on there. Don't be like me. Don't be like my husband. When you go in and you come out, open your eyes. Oh my God, that burns. It burns. Salt water burns. But anyways, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this video and you learned a thing or two if you're going to book your cruise. And if you're not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. Let's grow this channel. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. And with that, I will see you on my next video. Thank you. Have a good one.